Hi, I'm Tom Hetzel, physical therapist, owner-operator of Ride Designs. You are beginning part 3 of the trilogy of the Ride Java cushion. Part 1 was a brief introduction to the science of the Ride Java cushion. Part 2 was fitting the Ride Java cushion. What we're going to do now is demonstrate how to fit the Ride Java back support relative to the Ride Java cushion. So I'm going to show you how to take an improperly set up back support that comes in from the field and bring it into proper alignment. And boy, he gets in there and right away he's telling me he can't sit up because he's falling forward maybe, and I'm feeling his trochanters, and his trochanters are not resting in that groove. He's about 1.5 inches too far forward. So here's the mechanism I'd use. First of all, I need to get him back on the cushion, right? So right away, I'm going to go to my depth adjustment on the Ride Java back. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to get him back on the cushion. So one of the nice things about the Ride Java back, all of these fitting adjustments I'm doing are independent. I can do the right side while he's still sitting in it safely, and that's the only thing I'm adjusting, depth. So I loosen up my depth adjustment screws, and I tighten those down. Go to the other side. And again, the back just slides right back. Okay? Hardware is loose. I'm only adjusting depth. The client is safe. That is a unique feature of the Ride Java back, and the benefits are clear. Safe fitting, independent adjustment of the fitting parameters. You just saw depth. Now, get those hips back now. Now his trochanters are where they need to be. The next critical thing I need to do with the Java back is get my back height set up correctly. Now, typically you're looking at the top of the back. Is my back height correct? On the Java cushion, you're going to look elsewhere. You're going to look down about the PSIS level, down at the back of the pelvis, just at the PSIS level. The reason for that is that's where the pivot for my back angle is. And having that at the right place will allow me to, in just a moment, adjust my back angle without affecting the nice pelvic alignment I've just achieved. So the next thing I need to do is I need to adjust my back height. And I'm going to adjust my back height to get it to about the height of the PSIS. As we know, in an upright neutral pelvis, the PSIS is about the same level as the ASIS. So if I find Ryan's ASIS, I can point my finger straight back, and I can go right back to the pivot, and I can see that this back is about 2.5 inches too high. All right. So once again, I'm going to get my Allen wrench, comes with the back. I'm just going to loosen my clamp that holds the hardware to the chair. I'm going to loosen both clamps. Look at this. It's loose. Client is safe. Now I've got my clamps loose. It will be easier to slide the back down if Ryan can be leaned forward. So with him leaned forward, I'm going to take my back support and I'm going to lower my back support to my desired height. Making sure the hardware is the same height on both sides will help prevent the back from binding when you're taking it in and out of the chair. So I want to make sure that they're roughly at the same height. Again, I'm adjusting back height only when I'm loosening the hardware. That is that unique feature of the Java back that makes it the most fitting-friendly back support on the market. Independent adjustment of your fitting parameters. Remember, we're going to dial our height, so our pivot is right at the PSIS level. With the back installed, loosen your hardware, adjust your height. starting to look better. Things are starting to look better. I've got him in a, this is a tall Java back. You can go to our website and establish that there are 54 different configurations of the Ride Java back, which comprises 3 different heights, from below scapula to mid-scapula tall to shoulder height. And we've got 2 different depths, a 3-inch depth of contour and a 6-inch depth of contour. So it's a matter of choosing the height and depth of support that is needed, then going through this fitting procedure. So far, we've restored the depth in the chair and got him on the cushion correctly. We've adjusted back height to the PSIS level. So now I can look and see if my back angle is correct for his balance. And we're going to say right now, when Ryan takes a breath and relaxes, what happens? He just kind of falls forward out of there. So what I need to be able to do is be able to adjust that back angle now for balance. A good back support will recognize the biomechanical principles of balance relative to the pelvis and trunk. The pelvis, if you look at my pelvis and trunk in flexible presentation, like Ryan has, the pelvis and trunk work opposite of each other. A good back support will give you a tool that will allow you to optimize the pelvis. We just did that through our back height, putting the pivot right at his PSIS's. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust his back angle. When I adjust his back angle, the pivot is staying right where it was, right at the PSIS. So I can go through the full range of back angle on the Java back when it's adjusted correctly without affecting pelvic orientation. So I'm going to now go to my back angle adjustment. Again, my client is safe. I'm loosening up my back angle adjustment, both sides. I'm spotting him, letting him know, Ryan, you're going to feel the back move here in a second, all right? Now, I can just move him. Isn't that nice? How's that feel? About right there? Okay, so now I've got no hands on the hardware. It's loose. So the only thing I'm adjusting is back angle. Not depth, not rotation, nothing. Just back angle. So he's feeling pretty good there. I will now tighten down the back angle adjustment. With my pivot in place here, I opened up the back angle to let his shoulders come back. Now, what was neat about that, I did that without affecting the pelvis. Everything above that pivot was going backwards. But, like all those other competitive back supports that are flat from top to bottom, you start adjusting those back angles, especially when the pivots are in the wrong place. You go above the pivot, you're going back. Below the pivot, you're using up seat depth. The Java back has a unique shell that doesn't extend below the PSIS, but instead has these flexible metal stays that allow me, once I've opened up my seat to back angle, I can reach right up in between the client, Ryan, and his buttocks, and I can reach in and I can literally just bend these metal stays back. That allows for a gluteal spread. And when I do that, I restore that seat depth. Ryan can now lean forward, scoot his hips back in, that last little bit. There we go. All right. Now I've got really nice contour. I'm able to bring that back shell up and give nice weight-bearing support through the trunk. So I've done depth, I did my height, I did my back angle, I bent my stays. I should be done. Now we've got them on the chair, foot support correct, back support correct. I'd go through that fitting of the cushion, right? Trochanters, coccyx sacrum, perineum, ITs. Finish my cushion fitting. So there's still more you can do. Typically, you've nailed it right here. But another thing that we can do is, once we've got him comfortable, I can make sure that I'm providing good support posterior and lateral to the pelvis. Because your Java back comes with these nice pelvic wedge accessories. Pelvic wedge accessories. And these can be fit right in the posterior lateral pelvis. So I can reach in, posterior lateral at the pelvis on Ryan. And if I feel some space in there, I'm not getting good contact there, I can establish relative to possibly even the seam for the flap what height these wedges need to be. I can have them come out of the back support, and these will mount onto a platform with some Velcro behind the comfort foam on the back. Lateral pelvic wedges. Dynamic adjustment. Back this screw out to introduce 7 degrees of dynamic movement. Okay, so you got a chair, you got a client, you got a Java cushion and Java back. Within a half an hour, you should have it fit. Some fine tuning and tweaking. If you are struggling with the Ride Java system, it might not be the right system for them. So for whatever reason you're struggling, you may have just built your justification for the Ride custom program. Remember, you came to Ride for optimal performance, for fit and skin protection. If the Java system doesn't fit, you now have options. You can keep them in the Ride family of supports. You've justified custom. If you're not certified in custom provision, call Ride Designs. We'll hook you up with somebody who is and make sure your client is properly cared for. Thank you very much. We appreciate you considering Ride Designs for yourself or for your clients.